Monday, March 4th, 2022. It's Pi Day. Um, and let's talk about gas. Fucking gas prices. It boggles my mind that people are so gullible and inept and lazy in their thinking that it's just they're going to point to the president. When the gas price is high, we're going to point to the president. That's when the gas price is low, they don't say, "Yay, good job, president." The president doesn't set gas prices, and just because the U.S. doesn't import very much Russian oil, it doesn't mean that the Russian oil isn't part of the global economy. So, and Europe isn't even reducing their import of Russian oil by that much right now. So it's still flowing. There's no real lack of oil anywhere in the world. But the oil prices are set on the global market. So it doesn't really matter if there's something going on in one place, it's going to affect everybody. So most of our foreign oil comes from Canada. Like, the amount that we import from Canada is more than we import from anywhere else combined. And yet we're still a net exporter of oil. We still manufacture enough here. We don't necessarily need to be importing any from anywhere. So I assume all of that is part of, our effort to help global economy, blah, 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 blah. Buy our oil, we'll do this with you. And so just because we don't import a lot of Russian oil makes up a lot of the market. So if that's being removed from the market, right, the oil prices are going to go up. The problem with that in this particular scenario is that oil prices are low. They're lower than they were in 2008. And gas prices, so the price of oil was higher in 2008, but the gas prices were lower in 2008. The only reason we have high gas prices right now is because the oil companies are milking a human atrocity in Europe for their own profit. That's it. You want to blame somebody for the gas prices? It's the fucking company that you're buying it from, not the local guy who's behind the counter at the pump. You can't blame him. He's not setting your gas price. But the company that you're buying the gas from is who is at fault. That's it. They're making record profits. And the only way to prevent this is if we legislated a profit cap so that they couldn't price gouge whenever they want, because that's what they do with our own government subsidies. It boggles my mind how the oil and gas industry takes and takes and takes and takes, and somehow no one ever says, "Hey, oil and gas industry, you suck." Fuck you people. And when I say fuck you people, I mean it's the stupid knuckle draggers that are too lazy to try to figure out why their gas guzzling $70,000 truck is so expensive. Anyway, speaking of gas, I have very little to say about the gas bag that is fucker Carlson, and now his cohort Tulsi Gabbard, who I think wasn't she running as a Democrat? Wasn't that her gig? Like, and weren't we touting way back when that she was a Russian asset? So she and fucker are being used by state media in Russia to spew propaganda that they're putting out on Fox News to say, hey, this is what the Americans are saying too. The Americans aren't saying it. A couple of Russian assets are saying it. They're traitors to this country. I don't know what to do about it. Free speech. But unless we're going to fix our education system in this country, we're going to still get generations and generations of people who fall for this bullshit that they spew on television. And speaking of gas bags, this week's new Meghan is just yet another former Trump official who's trying to weasel their way into a career out of that. They're all exactly the same. If I didn't stay, somebody worse would have been there. We were trying to control him. Now he's gone too far and I can't support him. I don't know what their line is of too far. It's an easy line to draw at the terrorist attack at the Capitol, but it had to get that far for you? It's just bullshit. And so they're all doing the same thing. They're all in their little media moments trying to distance themselves from him and the crazies in MAGA country. But they're all still Republican. And there's this wave of thinking that's going on among some Republicans that's saying, okay, well, now here's the crazy MAGAs that are defending Putin, right, that are really distancing themselves from the moderate Republicans. Now we can find this level ground. Like, you couldn't tell before which ones were the crazies and which ones weren't. It's pretty darn easy. And they always like to compare, the maggots and the QAnons and all those crazies that are in the Republican Party are the equivalent of the progressives in the Democratic Party. Well, that's just fucking bullshit, because one set is stupid, harmful to the country, and vocal, filled with guns, and are ready to overthrow our democracy. The other group is just trying to say, hey, maybe we could do better for everybody. There seems to be a little bit of a difference, between those two groups of people. So you can't equate, the far left with the far right. That is, I know it doesn't look right to you, but it does to me. Anyway, so yeah, gas bags on TV. Bill Barr, I don't know why anybody's putting him on TV. He's telling the same story. I drove the getaway car, and now that I'm out, he's over there, but he'll be fine. Anyway, so that's all just infuriating. But I guess we have this, she's not a Trump apologist, but she's a Trump former official, an apologist for being a former Trump official. And I'm just sick of them. Like, it's all the same story, and they have nothing new to tell. And so they're distancing themselves from this, MAGA party, but they have no control over them, and they don't have any control in their party. So I don't know where they think that this is actually going to help the Republicans by, highlighting how crazy their base is. But, good luck. Again, strength for the midterms. If you want, I'm going to just go on this rant for a minute, because you hear from progressives all the time about, why should I keep voting blue no matter who if I'm not getting the result that I want? Because the other result is that those crazies are in charge, and it gives you the exact opposite of what you're looking for. At least if you're voting Democrat, you're stopping them from destroying everything that you think that you care about. If you can't bring yourself to vote against them by voting for a Democrat, you are voting for them, which is voting against your own best interest, which makes you no better than the dum-dums in the Republican Party who vote for Republicans who work against them. That's the big circle clusterfuck of our electorate.